it's a multitude of things. I think that we changed some organizational structures up. We changed kind of how we did some of our leadership style last year, and then we had just some really strong upperclassmen that really did a great job of bringing the team together, pushing, challenging, holding each other accountable, things like that. And it just there was a lot of energy, there was a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of excitement, and I think that that really led to a lot of our success last year. So, I think that with any team, right, it's got to come from kind of all places to have success, right? Like, there's got to be some stuff that comes from the top down, but there also has to be a lot coming from internally. And I think that our team last year did a really good job of that. And I think that that is what ultimately led to our success. You kind of come in with a lot of expectations because we do have a lot of talent, returning, and with first years coming in, it's going to fill some holes, and so you want to go in with a lot of optimism, a lot of excitement, a lot of enthusiasm, and we certainly have that, right? But we also don't want to get complacent. You can't say, okay, yep, it's happened for us, so it's just going to automatically happen again. Getting to the national meet. Is really hard. It's a very difficult thing to do. A lot of things have to kind of fall your way, and it's always a challenge, right? And so you've got to take it kind of one step at a time, one practice at a time, and then let the chips kind of fall where they may, and hopefully you can kind of build those wins and those successes kind of throughout the year, so that when you get to those points where you're going to be shooting for those national qualifying times, you've done the work, you can trust the training, all that, and bam, it'll work for you. And I do have a lot of confidence that it will work, right? And that we'll see a lot of that same success. But every year's a new beast, and every day is a new adventure. And so you never know what's going to happen. You never know what bumps in the road are going to come along, and it's just as important to know how to handle that and how to deal with those challenges and those adversities just as much as it is trusting your training and working hard and all that kind of stuff. And so there's a lot that goes into it, but we're certainly excited about it. We're certainly enthusiastic about where our teams can go this year. And that's going to be a real nice addition to our program. We're obviously still pretty early in his tenure here. I think he's been here about a month and a half now at this point, maybe not even a month and a half. So he's still getting his feet wet, no pun intended. But there's a lot of it. There's a lot of things that I'm looking forward to him kind of adding to our program. He's a data guy. He likes to look at all that and analyze it, study it, figure out what we can learn from a lot of things, which I think is phenomenal. He's a good stroke tactician. I think that that's always good when you have somebody who can pull somebody aside one-on-one, kind of work in those things. It comes from a good program where they had a lot of good talented swimmers, and so I'm excited that he has some of those workouts and training plans and sets and things like that he can come and bring to the table. And I like how I can just bounce ideas off him, and we can kind of have a real good discussion about where I think things need to go, and what are his thoughts and all that. So overall I'm really excited about it. And I think just as the season goes on and on, he's going to get more comfortable. I've certainly already seen that in the time he's been here already. So I firmly believe that he will continue to get more comfortable and get more engaged with the team and all that. So it's an exciting time, and I think that it's going to be a nice addition to our program. It's funny to think that they're seniors now. They were that COVID class, right? And they were choosing schools by online dating. And they came here, and I think that we've been through a lot in their time here. We've certainly had some ups, we've certainly had some downs, but I think that as a whole, the class just they're really good people. They work really hard. They really want to succeed both in the pool and in the classroom, and they've got high aspirations for where they're going to go to next. And that's the part that I love and I really want to see from them, right, is to see where they're going to go from here, and hopefully they've learned some things along the way that'll help them out. And talent wise, yeah, just studs all over the place, right? And they've contributed a ton to our program and to record books and to All Americans and all this stuff, right? And it's virtually impossible to replace that, when you think about what's going to happen moving forward. And so, I'm not that I'm not going to try, but I'm going to enjoy this group while they're here together for one more ride, and we're going to take it with each other. And any success that we've had has been because of each other, and it's going to continue to be that way. And I fully expect that they're going to be leading the charge, for our team this year, kind of in all aspects, right? From a leadership standpoint, from a work ethic standpoint, from a buy-in standpoint, you name it, they're the ones that are going to be in many, many, many ways setting the tone. And I'm excited for it. Yeah, we're going to have 2 senior days because we have so many, but, to me, it wasn't fair to just try to lump them all into one. And, I think that it's appropriate to do that. And, when we get to that point, that'll be a couple of tough days, I think, because it's going to be a little emotional. And, because they've been such a fun group to be around, that they're certainly going to be missed. Not just because there's a lot of them, but because there's a lot of good people and a lot of fun characters and all that. So they're certainly going to be missed. I think I'm most looking forward to really just kind of getting into it. This is always the hardest part of the year, where we're practicing for several weeks without really a lot of competition. Well, now all of a sudden we get some competition, right? And that's where a lot of the fun stuff, kind of happens. And we've been putting in the work. We've certainly been working very hard. This is probably some of the hardest training we've done with them. Especially in the last probably 5-6 years. And so we're looking forward to kind of seeing how we get up and race now and kind of getting into that. But I think that, I'm just most excited about the people and the camaraderie and being on deck with them and, going through those challenges, going through those ups and downs, right? We're going to have a lot of success, but we're also going to have a lot of things that we're going to have to work through. And taking that journey with every team is something very special every year. And I think that because every year is a little different and every team has a new personality every year, that